Hello, hello. My Sephora order has arrived, mostly Rare Beauty. So today I'm going to put on almost a full face of Rare Beauty. I was a little shocked, and I almost hate to admit this, but this order did push me into the Rouge category for next year. You know, I've always sort of prided myself on not being Rouge. But you know, most of the products I purchased are for videos. I do purchase 95% of the products that I feature in videos, and as Hannah Louise Poston says, for self-sponsored reviews. The only products I purchase for my own personal use are the Sephora retractable waterproof eye pencils. I always purchase a shimmering taupe during the sale at 30% off because I use it every single day on my lower lash line. But I also wanted to purchase a matte brown and a matte gray to see how they compared to my L'Oreal Lil Liner, which I've been using for my tight line. So I'm going to show you some swatches. Shimmer Taupe. Again, that is the eye pencil that I use on my lower lash line literally every single day. L'Oreal Lil Liner in brown. And that is the Sephora retractable waterproof eye pencil in brown. Here is the L'Oreal Lil Liner in gray tweed. And here is the Sephora pencil in a matte gray. Olive green, super pretty. A midnight shimmering blue, that's navy, and a purple. I applied these maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago. So this is Sephora, this is L'Oreal. Very long lasting. So if you're interested in Sephora retractable waterproof eye pencils, I highly recommend them, especially during the sale. Full price $13, during the sale 30% off. Puts them into drugstore category. I love them. I picked up two products for future videos. One of which is the Kiehl's Ultra Face Cream. I am planning an updated moisturizer roundup video, hopefully sometime in December, for sure by January. Anyway, I love the Kiehl's Creamy Avocado Eye Treatment. And this, look how thick that is. I haven't tested it thoroughly yet, but it is nice and thick and rich and emollient and silky. So you will be seeing this in an upcoming video. And then the other product I picked up for a future video is the Smashbox Halo Glow. I do want to do an updated tinted moisturizer roundup video. That will probably be sometime in the spring. I picked it up in a mini and I got the shade Light Neutral. And I think it's a good shade match for me. Like I said, I haven't tested it out yet, but stay tuned. I will be doing an updated tinted moisturizer video as we get closer to the end of winter or spring. It takes me a long time to test out some of these products. Anyway, those two products are for self-sponsored videos. And by the way, if you have any recommendations for moisturizers or tinted moisturizers that you would like me to include in these upcoming videos, please let me know in the comment box. I always get the best recommendations from you. The rest of my purchases were 100% Rare Beauty. You know, I'm usually not that interested in celebrity lines generally, and I really don't even know that much about Selena Gomez. But I was attracted to her line because, number one, it is one of the most affordable lines at Sephora, more in the $20-ish price range versus the $40 price range. She is vegan, she is cruelty-free, she makes donations to charity, and I just really appreciate sort of her natural approach to makeup. Some of the items or shades were sold out by the time I was able to shop, but I am going to test out foundation, concealer, couple of different cream blush formulas, her bronzer, a couple of lipsticks, and mascara. Almost a full face of Rare Beauty. Starting with foundation, I picked up her Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. It is 4 out of 5 stars at Sephora, $29. It does come in 48 shades. I did go in store to try to find a shade, and I have to say it was very difficult to find a shade. You know, she does have warm, cool, and neutral, but I feel like all of them run sort of yellow and orange. So I did pick up 190 Warm, which I usually would not consider myself a warm. It's not a perfect shade, but it is the closest I could get. Now, this is not a first impression. My order arrived yesterday, and I couldn't wait to try it on. And I have to say, I was really disappointed. This did cling to all the dry patches I didn't even know I had. and it gave me polka dot pores. So I went back to the website and I looked a little bit more carefully. It is recommended for normal, combo, and oily skin. It does not say it's recommended for dry skin, and I do have very dry skin. So last night I did a really deep exfoliating treatment mask with my Drunk Elephant Sukari Baby Facial, which always gives me baby soft skin. And this morning I did a hydro smoothing mask. What is it? The City Beauty Line Smoothing Hydro Mask, which is deeply hydrating. I used many layers of moisturizer. I will list the moisturizers that I used today in the description box below. But I tried to super hydrate my skin. I did use my Can Make Mermaid Sun Gel SPF 50++++, because I wanted to have a clear SPF on so as not to interfere with the tint of the foundation. So let's get this on my face and see if that extra exfoliation and extra moisturization will help make this work a little bit better for my skin. It comes with a doe foot applicator, and I will do one side of, can you see that is a little bit yellow? But I think I can make it work. I'm going to do one side with my fingers and the other side with a brush. You know, it does feel very lightweight and it does smooth on beautifully. And I will finish with a sponge, a damp sponge. All right, foundation, no foundation. Let's get it on this side of my face. So I am going to use a brush, and the brush I'm using is the new BK Beauty 109 foundation brush. I am loving this foundation brush. You know, she originally came out with the 101 foundation brush, which everybody loves, but this is just a little bit too big for my face. So I'm really happy that she came out with the 109, which is significantly smaller, as you can see, but it has the same shape and the same density. Anyway, I am loving this. So let's get this applied with this brush. I'm pretty much just pouncing it in. And finish with a sponge. All right, let me take a close-up look and see if it's clinging to dry patches or giving me polka dot pores. I'm looking in a magnifying mirror. Yeah, yesterday it really creased in my nostril there, and it's not doing that today. I do not see any polka dot pores. Much better after I deeply exfoliated and used extra rich moisturizers. But again, in all fairness, this is not necessarily intended for dry skin. It is intended for normal, combo, or oily skin. But I do think it gives a nice medium coverage. It is a natural skin-like finish. It is not matte. It is not glowy. Let me see if I can build it up. I still see a little bit of pinkness on my cheek, probably from all that exfoliation. Add a dab there and a dab there. And again, I'm just going to use this to sort of work it in there, just to see if we can build the coverage. All right, definitely buildable. I think adding a little bit did do a little bit to cover up some of that pinkness I had on my cheeks. It is setting down very, very nicely. There is no tackiness. So I think for me, I can make it work with extra exfoliation and extra moisturization. But again, it is not specifically intended for dry skin. So this might be a product that I would very much enjoy in the summer. I will continue to play with it. I do think it has a really nice, pretty, natural finish. What do you think? Next up, concealer. This is the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer, 4 out of 5 star rated, $19. It comes in 48 shades. Again, I had a similar issue finding a shade. I did go to Sephora. They were out of some of the shades. I wound up purchasing 190 Warm, and I'm not using any corrector today because I really do want to see how this concealer works. And I did lightly apply foundation under my eyes, so I'm going to go in very, very lightly with the concealer. Just a little dot there, little dot there. I did try again this yesterday, and I found it to have pretty good coverage, but let's see. I think I actually applied a little too much yesterday, so I'm trying to go in really, really lightly. I also purchased the Rare Beauty concealer brush. I was really curious about this. I love that kitten paw shape. It felt really soft, but yet dense. I'm not sure if I like it as much as my Angie Hot and Flashy brush. Let me show you how they compare. The Rare Beauty is a little bit less wide. It's a little bit smaller, which I sort of was attracted to because the Angie brush doesn't quite fit into that inner corner. This is the second time I'm using this, so this does fit in that inner corner nicely, but it is definitely not as soft as the Angie brush. But I'm going to use it on one eye anyway. You know, it does work. So initial blend with a brush, go in with my finger. I think that did a nice job concealing. Let me go to this side. Like I said, it's dense and it is pretty soft, just not quite as soft as the Angie brush. And finger. All right, concealer is done. I think it did a nice job concealing. It is supposed to have a radiant finish. It does feel hydrating. It does set down nicely. So that is concealer. One of the products I was really excited to try is her Warm Wishes Effortless Bronzing Stick. This is 4.6 star rated at Sephora. It comes in 5 shades. I did purchase the lightest shade called Power Boost. This has such a silky, creamy consistency, and it blends so, so nicely. I did try this yesterday, and I do think it is a really beautiful bronzer. So let's see how it blends with fingers. Do you see how that is just blending effortlessly? Very, very, very effortless. I know I'm not applying very much, but I just like to go in very, very lightly with bronzer. You know, I use bronzer very sparingly. I am not trying to look tan or sun-kissed. I'm just trying to take away the mask-like effect that foundation can give our skin. You know, our skin is not supposed to be all one color. And this just gives a little bit of life and a little bit of color variation to the face. And you can sculpt a little bit that jawline. So I'm just going to see how that works down there. So that's the bronzer. I have to say, I absolutely love how easy that was to apply with my fingers. It blended like a dream. It is very, very lightweight, not too warm, not too orange. I have to say, I think the bronzer stick is a winner. I picked up 2 of her blush formulas. The first one is her Stay Vulnerable Melting Cream Blush. This is 4.5 star rated. It is $21. It comes in 5 shades. And I picked up the shade Nearly Neutral. The consistency of this is really, really lovely. It feels velvety and silky, but not greasy. Let's get some of this on my face. Let me find my mirror. And see how that applies and blends. Feels really nice going on. Not heavy, not sticky. I don't know. I think that looks pretty nice. What do you think? Let's do the other side. I'm going to double blush today. That is super, super easy to apply. I also picked up this year's Soft Pinch Liquid Blush gift set. It comes with a full size and 2 minis for $30, which is a really good deal, by the way, because the full size is normally $20. These are 4.5 star rated on Sephora. It comes in 11 shades, and between last year and this year, I have 6 of those shades. So let me show you how they look. The top 3 are from this year. This one is Encourage, Truth, Hope, nice bright pink. I'm sorry, that was Happy, not Hope. So these 3 are from this year. Encourage, Truth, Happy. And last year's gift set had Hope, which is one of my favorite shades, and Bliss, super pretty, and lastly, Peace, very pretty peach shade. So there are the 6 shades that I have, last year's gift set and this year's gift set. So like I said, I am going to double blush because I do want to show you how these work on the face. And I am going to use Encourage. Now, these Soft Pinch liquid blushes are very, very, very pigmented. A little goes a very, very long way. So I am just going to put the tiniest little dot there. And I am going to blend. Look at that. Do you see how that is so pigmented? I barely applied any. But they are very easy to blend with your finger or a brush or a sponge. And I think that is really, really pretty. Let's get it on the other side of my face. I'm going to go in with even less. Oh my gosh, that's a big one. That's too much. I'm going to take a little bit off. Oh my gosh. Let's use my foundation brush. That'll take some of it down. It's really pretty though. That is the shade Encourage. I picked up both of her lipstick formulas. She has a dewy balm formula and a matte formula. First up is the With Gratitude Dewy Lip Balm. Now this one only has 3.6 star ratings at Sephora. It is $16 and comes in 8 shades. Now the packaging is magnetic, but I feel like the magnetic hold isn't very tight. So I have a little bit of fear that this could open up in my purse. Anyway, nice pretty packaging. Let me show you a swatch first. I have this, look at how pigmented that is. You know, for a balm formula, you usually don't think it's going to be that pigmented. Let me show you in comparison to my Lisa Eldridge Luxuriously Lucent in Painterly. Can you see how much more sheer Painterly is than the Rare Beauty? So let's get this on the lip. Like I said, I was really surprised how pigmented this is for a balm formula. I really do like this shade. It is the shade Support, but it is a little deeper than I expected for a balmy formula. I do think it's pretty, but I would like to go back and get some lighter, brighter colors. It feels very comfortable on the lips, very moisturizing. It's not overly glossy. I really do enjoy this one. This is the With Gratitude Dewy Lip Balm in the shade Support. So I am going to remove this and then I will show you the matte formula. I'm actually pretty surprised at how much it stained my lips, but that is testament that it is going to be a long-lasting formula. I am just going to neutralize my lips with a touch, just a touch of foundation. All right, neutralize my lips a little bit onto the Kind Words matte lipstick. Now this is 4.5 star rated. It is $20. and it comes in 10 shades. I purchased the shade Bold. You know, I did go in store and swatch some of the shades, and a lot of the shades ran a little bit warm for my preference. This one has a very unique packaging. Do you see that? You can lock it into place like that, and if you push on it, then you can get it out. Okay, so that's sort of a unique package. And let me swatch this compared to the Balmy formula. Okay, so that is the matte in the shade Bold, that is the Balmy in the shade Support, and that is the Lisa Eldridge Luxuriously Lucent in the shade Painterly. Let's get this on the lip. And that is just one swipe. Did you see how pigmented it is? It does feel creamy going on. It does not feel drying, yet it is a matte lipstick. I will say this shade does just pull a little bit warmer on my skin tone for my preference. I actually do prefer the shade Support in the Balm. It's a little bit cooler, a little bit mauvier, but I do think if you enjoy a matte lipstick, you will enjoy this lipstick. It's a good one. I just went off camera and did my brows. I didn't buy any brow products, and nobody needs to see me do my brows. I used e.l.f. Wow Brow today. I also switched my lipstick back to the Balm. You know, I just feel like the shade Support in the Balm is a little bit cooler toned, a little bit more my preference than the shade Bold in the matte. I felt like that pulled a little bit too warm for me. We're going to finish up the eyes and then we will wrap this up. I do want to try the Sephora Collection Matte Brown on my tight line. Tight line, no tight line. Well, it certainly applies easily as a tight line, but I do think I prefer the shade, the richer shade of brown on the L'Oreal La Liner. But anyway, here is the Sephora Collection Matte Brown Tight Line. Now, I did not purchase any eyeshadow. I just didn't see a Rare Beauty eyeshadow that I really wanted to try. So today I'm just going to put on a one and done Charlotte Tilbury Oyster Pearl. I'm using a Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to apply a light wash of color because I'm wearing a pretty deep lip, so I want at least a little something something on my eyes. And I want to show you how easy this Charlotte Tilbury applies. It's such a nice moussey formula, not overly shimmery. I think you can see how fast and easy that is to apply. Let's get this side on. Again, just a super fast, easy wash of color with a one and done eyeshadow, the Charlotte Tilbury Oyster Pearl Cream Eyeshadow. It is one of my favorites. It is one of my go-tos when I just want a finished eye, but not a complicated eye look. Charlotte Tilbury Oyster Pearl. You've seen me apply my Shimmer Taupe a million times. I just like to apply it to the lower lash line and connect the lower lash line to the upper lash line. And then I will smudge it out and just smudge it very softly. Now for mascara. I did purchase a mini in the Rare Beauty mascara. The mini is $11. The full size is $20. And I did try this yesterday. It is a nice mascara. Here is the mini. It only comes in one shade, black. It has a fairly large natural bristle brush. And I do find it to be a very, very natural looking mascara. So let me get this on. So there is one coat. The other side. Touch this up a little bit. All right, so that is about 1.5 coats of the Rare Beauty mascara. I do think it volumizes. I do think it lengthens. It does have a very natural look. It is not clumpy. I did wear it yesterday. It came off very easily with my makeup remover, and it lasted a long time. So the Rare Beauty mascara is a very nice one. The brush is a little bit thicker for my preference. I'm tending to lean towards a little bit narrower brushes. This can get a little messy, but Rare Beauty mascara is a good one. Final thoughts on almost a full face of Rare Beauty. I am super happy I picked up the new Soft Pinch Blush gift set. You know, I picked up the gift set last year with the 3 minis. This has 1 full size, 2 minis for $30. I think it's a really good deal. I love this formula. You saw how pigmented it was. A little goes a long way, but that is a fan favorite for good reason. Love it. Of the newer products I tried, I think my favorite is the bronzing stick. So often cream bronzers and bronzing sticks can be a little bit stiff and a little bit difficult to blend. This was so silky smooth. It blended like a dream. Absolutely love it. Really, really happy to have the bronzing stick. Another favorite product is the Dewy Lip Balm. I was surprised how pigmented this was, and I was also surprised it really did leave a stain on my lips. So I think this is going to be a long-lasting, very moisturizing Dewy Balm formula. Definitely want to get a couple more shades in this. As far as the complexion products, you know, it's not fair for me to say this doesn't work for my skin because it is not intended for dry skin. But I did think it blended beautifully. I thought it had a nice level of coverage. It builded beautifully. It set down nicely. You know, Kiki loves this. Her skin isn't quite as dry as mine. And I think even if you have dry skin, if you super moisturize, it'll work for you. I think this will work really well for me next summer, but I'm going to keep trying to play with it. Maybe I'll even add an oil to it as I apply it. Anyway, shades are a problem, or at least they were difficult for me, so go in store if you can to find a shade. They do lean warm, but I do think this is a nice foundation. And the concealer, I found the concealer to be medium to full coverage, and I tend to prefer more of a medium coverage. It was blendable, it was radiant. You know, I haven't given it a wear test, so I can't speak to that, but I found it easy to work with, and I'm going to keep playing with it. As far as the cream blush, you know, I really do love the texture and how it feels on my finger and as it is blending into the skin. But I do feel like it applied just a little bit patchy. It wasn't super pigmented. Of course, I do have a pretty light neutral color. I am sort of curious. I would like to pick up another one of these and see how the brighter color works on my skin. So I'm on the fence on this. I'm a little bit more into the Soft Pinch liquid blush than I am to this. But it is not a fail. I am going to keep playing with that. And as far as the mascara, I thought the mascara was fine. It goes on nicely. It gives volume. It gives length. It doesn't smudge. It comes off easily. I didn't love the brush. I thought the brush was a little bit too big, a little bit messy. And frankly, some of my drugstore mascaras are just as good as this. So if you're interested in the mascara, try the mini. Oh, I almost forgot the Rare Beauty concealer brush. You know, I'm not sure what to think about this. I love the size. I love the shape. I love the density. And it did a very, very nice job blending my concealer. But it just wasn't quite as soft as the Angie Hot and Flashy brush. It wasn't as soft as my Real Techniques brush, rougher brushes. But as far as how it functioned and how it blended the concealer, I think it did just fine, and it is a great price at $16. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to throw it a thumbs up. That really helps support my channel, and I very much appreciate it. And with all that being said, I hope you have a beautiful day and a wonderful week, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.